I know why you're here. You're here to see unfiltered, unvetted, raw emotion and thought about the new Overwatch character, Juno. And that's why people, like, they come to me. They say, you know what? This dude is not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be raw, okay? It's going to be raw, and this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Juno after playing her for a couple hours today, and my initial reaction with a lot of concerns about particularly the auto-lock abilities as well as the mobility that she has. I've got to just give you guys the cold, hard truth about Juno. And I've got to say, just a slow round of applause for Blizzard. Listen, it's very easy for me to come out and give them shit nowadays, just to be frank with you, because I think the direction the game has gone has generally been very, very negative recently. I think the tank changes, especially as a DPS or support player, have just made the game so unfun. There's not very much playmaking because of Giga stats. But I've got to say, man, I am thrilled with how they've done with Juno. Seriously, what a great damn job. I mean, and this is why, you know, for the past year, I've sat here and said, guys, like, you can't be giving Alec Dawson a lot of shit. I don't think he's really had a chance to show what he's capable of yet. And Juno is the most healthy, fun, well-designed support that we have seen in this game for 7 years. Alari kind of aged like milk because they haven't changed their pylon correctly to this day, and I'm going to put this on, I'm putting my editors on blast. I'm going to put this on screen right now to call the devs out a little bit about what they said about Torbjorn turret, and how they didn't want it to feel like a 6th player, but pylon quite literally is a 6th player. It's a more egregious example of Torb turret, and they still have not found the way to change it yet. But we're not talking about Alari today. We're talking about how great of a job they did with Juno, and man, let me tell you guys, seriously, I shudder to think as to the place Overwatch as a franchise would be in right now if Alec Dawson could get in a time machine, go back in time, and sit down in front of Jeff Kaplan and Jeff Goodman and say, what the hell are you all about to do, before they made Brigitte and they put Juno out in the game in 2018 before they put I got a peanut in my throat. Hold on. Seriously, someone invent a time machine and send this man back in time to stop the colossal fuck-ups of the characters that ruined, particularly in the support role, which, by the way, I'm seeing a lot of this in the 5v5 6v6 debate. Some people still don't believe that the tank comps were not caused by supports. They were caused by supports. They were caused by Brigitte. They were caused by BAP. If Juno had come out back then, the game would be in the franchise, and then the Overwatch League might still be here, because the DPS players and people would have been able to see them pop off and keep playing DPS. Guys, what a great damn job. Let's go piece by piece here and talk about Juno. Okay, her primary fire. Single target. I think it has some fall off. People were saying I didn't feel it. I was outputting a ton of healing per 10 minutes. Single target, high decision making, kind of gun, I guess, that's burst with 180 rounds or maybe 160 rounds, around that number. And it feels great to use. It feels like Ana. She's the first support that kind of feels and plays a lot like Ana Amari, but she's got a different way of expressing herself, which is why it's so brilliant. So brilliant. Seriously, like a 10 out of 10 for me. I'm thrilled with how this character turned out. I mean, the healing feels great. The output is pretty damn strong, and the hitbox is very generous, but it's still single target healing with big decision making, and you can't really bail your whole team out if they take a lot of damage. And it requires execution. It feels good. Now, the damage on the gun does have a little bit of fall off, but you actually cannot critical hit with the gun, a lot like Ana to try to rein her in. Now, they might be able to bring that in, but I feel like they might think that crit damage with how much ammo she's shooting could end up amplifying her too much, especially with the other options that she has. So her damage feels pretty decent. It's not that overtuned, and it feels pretty responsive. So I gotta say, the primary fire, really damn good. They should be really happy with how that turned out. Now, let's talk about some of her other abilities. Now, this is the ability that really concerned me, and this is where they're going to have to look if they're going to target changes at Juno. Her secondary fire with the auto-aim heal and damage. Now, I think if you see two characters 1v1ing, and she can do that in the mid-fight, maybe make it lock on to enemies a little bit slower than it locks on to allies. I feel that damage might be a little bit corny, and that's the only part of her kit that could feel like gimmicky cornball, you know, just not fun to play against aspect, because it does auto-aim to all of her teammates, and that contribution could be a little too strong. But it's on a longer cooldown, and the numbers aren't that high, and it does not, like, go through walls to just, like, home on somebody like a Brig Pack. Like, you can LOS it as it gets shot at you and dodge, which is good for counterplay. It felt a lot like Life Weaver when using it on your allies, in that you want to use it preemptively in anticipation of damage to try to keep everybody's health pools high. Because what's so skillful about the support, which I can't believe I'm saying a support in Overwatch is skillful. I don't know what they did. Man, it's like if you aren't anticipating the damage, you'll fall behind and you won't be able to heal your whole team. And this is something that Life Weaver had to deal with, though. You could be on a 100 milligram Delta 8 gummy, sitting there slumped back in your chair playing Life Weaver because you could just be super slow and still hit every heal. Just terrible. Which, by the way, just so you guys know, I did do that. I hit freaking GM1 easily, freaking off the Delta 8 gummies, just sitting there chilling in the back of the map as Life Weaver in pro lobbies with the Ghost Bloom skin on. It was fucking cake. It was easy. Okay? But this character actually has to be very thought-provoking, and your teammates can LOS your heals. It's not like Life Weaver Pedal, which the heals just like will curve around corners to catch the target. Horrible. But you know what? Juno is not like that, man. Juno is very thought-provoking in that ability. It can give your ult, it builds your ult really quick if you hit a big one, but it requires setup, it requires thought, and you're definitely very vulnerable, and you can't be doing multiple things at once. Like, if you have that out, you can't be using your regular heal at the same time, which, again, risk to reward, which, by God, I wish they would do that more with supports. Jesus Christ, where has this been for 7 years? Okay, so that goes on past the secondary fire, which, you know, I think that's where they should look to change the kit. If things become problematic, that's the only place it could be. Okay, her glide, her little double jump, she actually does not have that much verticality on the double jump. It's not a get out of jail free card. It's an assist to allow her to strafe a little bit better, but because of that, it's not free value. Like, it's a tool that the player has to augment to their playstyle. It's not going to bail a bad player out of a situation, okay? So that's really, really good. Now, you kind of have to bunny hop around. It's not as easy as BAP where you just sit there and crouch and you go up to the moon. It's like, oh, I just dodged everything. I'm an entire rotation out now for free, and I didn't have to think about it all. I just jumped. So, very, very thought-provoking double jump with the glide. On top of that, her flight ability. That very, very limited verticality. So, it's an assist to help her kind of strafe around while she's healing, and, you know, she can really use that in tandem with her speed ring to strafe out dives on her. But she's not going to get out of a dive for free. But she does have slightly more mobility options than Ana. It's not too much. They found the Goldilocks zone, man. The porridge wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. It was right in the middle. It was just right, dude. It's just like the kindergarten class where they're telling you the story of Goldilocks, dude. They got the perfect porridge right in the middle with Juno. It was great. Great, man, with some maple and brown sugar on it, too. Freaking goddamn-tastic, okay? So great job with that. So, again, you can use it to kind of scale horizontally, but it's not a free bailout. You can't get an entire rotation out, but it will help you win your duels and strafe dive targets on you by baiting them in. On top of the fact she does have shields, so, and no self-heal ability. So, again, not taking damage actually freaking matters. But when she's out of the fight, she will be able to get rewarded with her regen, like, a little bit faster than most supports, because she's going to be healing from the support passive as well as her shield regeneration. Very, very thoughtful. Great job from the team there. I mean, Jesus Christ. Speed ring. Not insane speed. It's not OP, but, and it won't play for the player, but it's on the player to create value from the speed ring by working together or using it in tandem with your flight to get better move speed while you're flying to survive a dive defensively, making it harder to hit you and track you. I mean, man, just awesome. It was great. It was freaking great, dude. Like, it was thought-provoking. My numbers were high. The mistakes I felt like were on me. I couldn't just cornball somebody in a duel if they lost to me. It's because I played better. It's that damn simple. This is the core fundamentals of what made this game great. Instead of these cornball heroes like Brig and BAP and Moira and Life Weaver and Alari Pylon and BAP Shift and all the bullshit that they put in this game that they need to tune down. I mean, they need to take notes internally about what makes this hero release so good and ask themselves how they can make every character in the game function like Juno. Seriously. If every character functioned like Juno, this game would be top 10 permanently. It would be elite. Day in, day out. It would be elite. So they need to do more. Let's talk about her ult, dude. First of all, her ult is the strongest support ult in the game right now. Currently, strongest support ult in the game. This is the first ult in 2 years that actually is better than Kitsune. Very, very thoughtful. Again, you have to play around it. It gives you a bunch of healing when you're in it, it felt like, and your damage is amplified, but it moves. So you actually have to think about playing around it. If only they could have done that with Brig and Spire in Goats meta, and we wouldn't have had this damn problem. Brilliant. Brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant game design. Seriously, what a goddamn good job. Where has this been? Where has this Blizzard been? Where have you guys been? This is the Blizzard of old. This is the Blizzard that understands the modern industry, and if they designed every character like this, the game would be pixel perfect, aside from 5v5 roll lock being dog shit. I mean, it's just great. The old, like, you call it in, and it kind of moves forward slowly. So you kind of use it on a point. But because it amps damage and heals a ton, you actually can survive the speed increase and the cooldown reduction, and I guess technically the fire rate increase of Kitsune. Because your numbers actually can beat theirs. It's almost like Kitsune is like basically speeds everybody up. So essentially it's like, it's fast and furious. But the tractor beam is like slow and powerful. And that power kind of counters the speed. And it makes the dynamic of those fights that they run into each other very interesting. Now, to be clear, Juno is going to fill that flex support role. She's very good with Lucio. Very good with Lucio. And probably will be a different variant of the Lucio Kiri comps that we'd seen at a high level play for so long. She might get paid in some poke comps, but she's not better than a Laureate poke. I think she's kind of that Kiriko Ana role hybrid, if you will. And she's just interesting, man. Like, where the hell has this been, Blizzard? Where has this been? Where have y'all been with this? And she's like the kind of character that they'll sell skins for. You know, the girlies are seeing this, being like, she's so cute. I've already seen like 50 drawings of, and listen, this is not my wheelhouse. I'm not gonna pretend like the art side of the world is not, I'm not good at that. I gotta be in art class where you show up and get an A. That's how fucking bad I was, okay? I'm science. Everybody knows that I'm science. That's why they're here. They want to hear the science of the game. I'm like sports science, whatever that show was on ESPN. They need to bring that back. That show was fire. I've already seen like 50 fan arts of her like doing like the cute K-pop pose and shit, which good for you ladies and guys and gals out there that you know fuck with the K-pop stuff. I'm not trying to start a hate train here, but you guys know what I mean. Like, this character's gonna sell skins, which is ironically she's probably gonna have more skins than Venture does even now, which although that Venture ice cream skin was fire, I didn't buy it though because I'm not buying a skin until 6v6 comes back. But you know, okay. But you know, it's good. It's good. It's actually good, man. It's actually really damn good. So, hey, look, Team 4, this is, you know, you guys have restored a little bit of faith in me. Honestly, with the direction some of these patches have been going, some of the reworks not really doing anything, I was scared. This was kind of make or break for me because Marvel Rivals is around the corner, although they just released an atrocious looking character today. What timeline are we in? But this is good. This is why we need competition, because when the competition comes, they're going to make each other better, and at the end of the day, the consumer is going to win. Finally, the consumer is going to start winning. So yeah, man, I mean, look, they just did a damn good job with this one, and I wish that more of their designs were designed like this, because the game would just be way more fun. The game is fun when it's on the player to create the value and not the game denying it from overpowered abilities that are unoutplayable, like Immortality or Suzu or the tanks in the game right now, where you can't make a play on them because their stats are so high. This is what made Overwatch great, Team 4. This is what made Overwatch great. And y'all need to take notes on what about this character feels fun to play against and feels fun to play, and ask yourselves how you can apply that kind of game philosophy to the entire game. Really great job. You know, just all jokes aside, really great job. You know, I just wish there was more of this. I really do. So, hey, kudos to Team 4. Great hero. Hopefully you guys can tune this as much as you can. And if you guys have missed Juno, you really are missing out, because Juno actually is pretty fun. And that's just the truth. So, great job. I hope to see more. Thank you, Team 4, for a healthy hero release for the first time in 7 years, and for the support role. And please do more of this. So, yeah. Okay. See y'all later. Take care. Peace out.